Oh shit, check it out. It's a Yamaha DJX. Let's see what it can do. What? The fuck? Make it stop! Make it stop! Damn, I hate this fucking keyboard. I hate it. It sucks. That's usually the first impression the Yamaha DJX makes. Because as soon as you turn it on, it's in a pattern mode. And as soon as you hit a key, it starts triggering the pattern. The proper way to turn it on would be to turn it on, take it out of pattern control, and take it out of part control. Now it's a regular keyboard.
Yo, yo, yo.
The first patch being a drum kit, which is the DJX kit. You know, sound effects, drums, kicks, claps, and then you go through the sounds, the fuzz line. You got a little filter on it. So it's got a lot of neat sounds in it. It's not a real synthesizer per se. It's not exactly a synthesizer, but it's got a lot of analog-like sounds that if you go through it, you'll enjoy. There's some I really like, you know. There's some nice square waves in there, like this MC Light. And the thing about it is, you have a total of, what does it say, 283 sounds. So let's go through some of the features. Some of the sounds, I like that one. All right. So let me go through some of the sounds that I like. There's actually a really good, you know, bread and butter. This one says Funky EP. Or like the DX. DX is one of Yamaha's own, so they did a good job of sampling it. The DX EP and the CP80, which is actually really impressive sounding. Impressive sounding. And very familiar sounding. It sounds very like Michael McDonald kind of sounding. They did a good job of sampling, and it sounds pretty good. Very usable. Very, very usable. Now, I don't want to go through all the sounds because it'll basically take forever. You know, you got brass sounds. You got tech brass. Jump brass. For those Van Halen fans, I don't know how to play jump, so sorry. And there's a bunch of drum kits, 141 studio kit, room kit, rock kit, electric kit, analog kit, dance kit. But one in particular that you don't really see everywhere is it's the B900 kit. I don't know where they got it from. It's sounds really good. And if you notice, there's reverb, and that's not actually, I'm not applying reverb at all. It's the reverb that's in the keyboard, but it's very easily defeatable. You can shut it right off. Just there's a reverb button right in the front. When you hit the off button, you no longer have reverb on the keyboard. There's a reverb on my voice because I'm putting reverb on it through the mixer. So if you don't like the reverb and you're recording and you want to apply reverb after you're done recording, you could always just shut it off very easily. Now, most of the features of this thing are hidden in the function section. Like if you want to actually design some sounds. Now the bad things about this keyboard, it has no patch memory, so any kind of tweaking you do, you can't save it. It has no portamento, and it has no mono mode. So if you want to do like those, like a mono synth line, you can change the pitch bender to plus minus pitch bend range. There it goes, to plus minus 12, you know, and that way when you go into, let's say, like a synth sound, so you got a synth sound, and if you can't do portamento on it, but like if you wanted to, you could just use this extreme pitch bender like to give like glide notes. So you'd be like, well, that's how you can get around the whole non-portamento. Take it to like rehearsals, and if you wanted to like join some kind of a indie band, these sounds will definitely cut it. You know, if you want to do some kind of a garage band thing and you want to play some, let's say you want to play like organs and stuff like that, and some kind of a so it's got those bread and butter. So now you actually have two waveforms that you could independently filter. You could independently set the octaves, you know, and it's basically almost like having two, and you know, oscillators or waveforms that you could actually make your own cool sounds with. You go to the split voice, because you could split the keyboard into top and bottom, and you could set all the different octaves and stuff like that for the split voice, and you could also filter it independently. And then there's that's the auto wah. See, the effects are very subtle. Left, right delay, echo, cross delay, distortion hard, distortion soft, EQ disco, telephone. This one is the echo. Tech echo. Yeah, I think the BPM's too fast, it's making it sound all glitchy. That's tech echo. Sweep. See, you can see when I hit the chord, some of them actually play, you know, simultaneously, and then when you come to some of these, they're actually broken chords. So like this is the up, but when you hit a chord, so it'll actually play a broken chord. That's a down, up and down A, up and down B, random, tech A, techno. All together, you got 16. That's one of the ones that play simultaneously. That won't play simultaneously. Bass line. Echo. Anyway, that's the arpeggios. So let's go shut the arpeggiator off. Nah. I like that one. See, what you could do is you could filter it. And let me get to the ribbon controller here. See, the ribbon controller, you can assign it to different effects. This is a turntable effect. Turntable effect. Arpeggiator speed. Cutoff. That's one of my favorite things, to actually assign it to the cutoff. So to filter it, you don't have to keep grabbing this cutoff knob. You can just do it with this. So then you can go into your function button and go to the dual voice and pick your dual voice. You just hit the dual voice. There's a button on the front for dual voice. Right now it's adrenaline. So you're layering. This is layering it with itself. If you got a sound and it's not fat enough, you could actually layer it with itself. So then you come to dual voice, and then you could just change the octave to fatten it up. So right now the octave is -1. You could bring it up 1. And you could filter it independently too. And then you have one's playing an octave up, one's playing an octave down, but it's the same voice. And then you could assign the filter to the second voice. You just hit dual voice, and now your filter. So what you could do is you could take any two sounds, layer them together, and you could filter them independently and set the octave independently and set the effects, like effect level for each one separately. So that's basically your extent of sound design on this board. So the main voice is playing an arpeggio and the dual voice is not, which is kind of cool if you want to just do kind of layering stuff. So I'm hitting, it's kind of a pad. So I'm hitting a pad, and it's playing an arpeggio on the main voice, and on the dual voice, it's not playing arpeggiator. That's just the pad, the actual chord. So you got a chord and a broken chord all together. When you hit the sampling button, you see a number. It usually starts at 100 because that means 100% of your memory is available. And as you sample, the memory goes down to 0. So right now, it's at 100. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sample. Subscribe.
Subscribe
To my channel.
to my channel, to my channel,
Subscribe.
to my channel, to my channel,
Subscribe.
to my channel, subscribe to my channel, subscribe.
And you can have a lot of fun with this little sampler. Anyway, it sounds like, very lo-fi. But do you have the option of filtering it?
Subscribe.
To my channel,
Subscribe.
subscribe
To my channel.
subscribe.
I got a sustain pedal hooked up to the foot jack switch. With the foot jack, you could use for a bunch of stuff. You could use it for counting BPM and stuff like that, but it should be set on. So now I got the arpeggiator on. I could be like.
Subscribe.
There's a 6-track sequencer that I never use, but it's there in case you need to use it, and it's not really very difficult to use. You basically just arm the track and record. It's got a bunch of built-in patterns which sound actually pretty good. You just go into the style section and you can go through, and there's a couple that I like. You know, this one's pretty cool. Yeah. And a variation on it. Yeah. So let me just do like an impromptu jam on this thing, you know. Subscribe
to my channel.
Subscribe
To my channel. 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 To my channel.
So yeah, I'm gonna do like a impromptu jam. What I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna pick one of these styles. Let me get like a funky style. I think this flare is kind of funked up. So what you got over here is you got your style, but you could actually strip it down. Let's start with the kick. You could DJX Yamaha. Stay tuned for more product demos.